what should be, so what I've tried to do is I've tried to simplify things here in terms of a certain percentage, which might be very helpful to everyone. And today's presentation would be entirely based on it. So hope that it helps everyone. Okay, and I'll be sharing my screen with you now. Okay, so I hope my presentation is visible to everyone, right? So if anyone could reply me on that. Hello, is the presentation visible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So today's presentation, as you can see, it's on planning the monthly budget. So I've chosen this topic specifically because many of them would be getting into jobs either now or maybe after some time, or many of you all might be already in jobs or pursuing somewhere or having your campus placements. So maybe in a year's time, most of you would be working, right? If I'm not mistaken. So on those lines, I thought that mostly people don't understand that what to do with their expenses in terms of your savings or how to plan your salary out. So today's topic would be helpful for everyone, right? Even for those people who are trying to pursue their career, maybe in wealth management or, as an advisory, as an advisor to people. So this will be very helpful to you as a starting point. So today's scope again would be Q&A for previous webinar, if any. If not, we will directly start, which would be second would be budgeting your salary, and third would be allocating your savings, right? So if there are no questions from the previous webinars, as we have taken it already, we would directly jump on to the budgeting salary part, right? Okay. So most of you might have heard already or might not know. So there is something known as 50-30-20 rule. Okay. So if you want, you can note this down, right? So this is known as a 50-30-20 rule. So you can see the percentages out there in the presentation, which speaks about the 50-30-20%, which is written there. Okay, I will explain you what it is. So just remember, it's a 50-30-20 rule. So even if you Google it, you might find it, where we generally expect that person should, if he does his budgeting in this way, he would be very well till his retirement. Okay. So what is this 50-30-20 rule? Okay. So out of your net take home salary, okay, so let's say a person has 1 lakh salary, okay, per month. Out of that, 50% of his salary, that is 50,000 rupees, should be spent on the needs, okay. That you can see the examples there, his utilities, his rent, his interest what he might be paying, right, his grocery, his normal expenses, day-to-day travel. So all this, right, should be generally 50% of your net take home salary, right? So if you're getting in hand 1 lakh, so 50,000 should be the ideal amount that you should spend on your needs, right? Many of the people, what we see, that there's a difference in this. Obviously this might vary, because if a person who's making 20,000, right, for him it might be a little different, because most of his saving or most of his salary would go in rent, grocery and all these things. But on an ideal scenario, we are speaking that 50% should be the budgeted part for your needs, right? Okay. The next part, as you can read, is 30%. Now 30% would be for your wants. Okay. So what are these wants? So maybe you're planning a trip outside. Okay. Maybe on a weekend you want to dine outside. You want to go to a restaurant, hotel, or maybe you're you want to shop or travel somewhere outside and you're planning something for that. So this should be generally 30%. So these are all are your generally the leisure activities that you have, right? Spending outside for relaxation or whatever these things. So basically this should be in the bracket of 30%. Okay, so maybe if your salary is 1 lakh.
Hello? Can't see the
Hello.
presentation. I can't see any presentation.
None of them can see or only you can see? So anyone, if you could reply, others can see the presentation.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, some of them are able to see and some of them are not able to see. Just a minute. Maybe I'll disconnect and connect back again. Okay. Is this presentation visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Other replies
Yes, sir.
you can see, right? Okay. And people who are unable to, maybe there's some problem in the internet connection or something, you could just check that. Okay. Fair enough. So we'll start. We were at 30%. So 30% should be your basically for your wants, as I had explained. So this would be moreover to be spent on your the leisure activities. So like I explained, your dining, your travel, shopping. So all these expenses should be 30% of your net take home salary. So example, like I said, so out of 1 lakh, 30,000 can be kept on sides for leisure activities, right? Then is your savings. So generally we expect that at least, okay, now this is the least amount that I'm expecting, that people save at least 20% of your salary as savings. Okay, so what will go into savings? This might be your equity, the stocks that you buy, or maybe the mutual funds you buy, or your debt, your fixed deposits, or any money into gold, right? So this is how we have tried to there's a basic formula generally which is used by everyone, but surely it differs from person to person. But I wanted to give you just an idea, because generally this is what I faced when I got my first salary. This is that I did not know how much to save, right? And eventually, so things were a little haywire for me, and I did not know how to balance it. So there are few of my friends who just keep entire money just for entirely for savings. So which is not also the right way, I feel, or it's a personal choice. I just suggest, but still I say that 50-30-20 is a basic rule that is universally followed. So I thought that just to get those things across, right? So remember this 50-30-20. 50 is basically the needs, 50% is for your needs, right? 30% would be for your wants, and 20% would be for your savings. Okay. Now we'll come to the next part, which is your how to allocate these savings, right? Because we have our lecture on capital, we generally take on markets. So now how to allocate these savings, because early 50% and 30% you guys already know what you want, right? But what about the 20%? Now where to allocate that 20,000 rupees or 1 lakh, right, into savings? So firstly, okay, always remember, now this is what again I have seen a general trait in people, that 20% either goes entirely into fixed deposits, right? The person is very conservative or he's very risk averse. What he'll try to do, he'll put the entire money into a fixed deposit or something of on those lines, or maybe just it might just lie idle in your savings account, in your bank account. Or there are few people who just take that 20% and get totally into equity, or just keep on buying stocks, or just keep on buying mutual funds, right? Or there are people who just keep on buying gold. So there are various types of people. Now, what I suggest, so what I did was, I felt that this wasn't the correct way, okay, to do it. What you should do is you should allocate your savings in a specific manner, okay. Now, after coming to some, after having some experience in the industry and again going through what I've read, so there is a certain procedure that you should follow which would help you to even increase your savings and also to protect yourself, okay. Now, what it is, so general allocation, how it should be. Now, in savings, most of the people don't think insurance as a part of saving, right? Reason being, insurance is something you put money into and you get meager returns, or sometimes if you're buying just a normal plan for death, you don't even get any returns from it, okay. However, remember guys, the first thing that you should do after you get your first salary, okay, is buy an insurance. Why? Okay. Now remember, in insurance, everything is linked to your age. Okay. Higher the age, higher the premium. Okay. The premium is basically what you pay every year to the insurance company. Okay. So more the age, more is the insurance amount that you pay every year. Now, why do I tell you to do it immediately? When you get your first job, eventually when you're 21, 22, or maybe after your MBA or 23, 24, whatever, you're young enough, okay? And insurance premium stays the same for the rest of your life, okay? So let's say, for example, if I'm 25, 26, okay? And I pay insurance premium of 20,000 per year. Now, for the next 30, 40 years, I'll be only paying 20,000 as my insurance premium, right? However, if I get to my 30 and in my 30, if I start my insurance, then I'll be paying close to 35, 40,000 rupees. So for 35, 40,000, and eventually I'll be getting insured for the same number of years for the next 30 years. But however, every year I'll be paying now 35, 40,000 rupees, right? Remember, insurance is a must have. And even today or tomorrow, you're going to buy an insurance. Reason being, it's kind of a protection for yourself, okay, for you, for your family, everyone, correct. So since if you're the only earning member in the family, then surely you require insurance. Even if you're not the only earning person, you still require, because it takes care of the family, since you are the person who was making money, and since you could not give, so now it does not change your family's lifestyle, right? Hence it is a must have. So surely you're going to have either today or tomorrow, or maybe 5-10 years down the line. So firstly, what people mistake is, first they go for fixed deposits or gold or stocks or whatever. No, first you should buy your insurance, since you fix your premium, your yearly premium that you pay, you fix it for the next 30, 40 years, right? And hence you should first an insurance, right? Now, second part, if you're doing that, okay, for your contingencies fund, okay. So what is a contingency fund? Basically, in short, in simpler terms, these are your emergency funds, okay. So in case you lose a job, okay, or in case something goes wrong, maybe you meet with an accident, whatever it is, you should always have a right, which is kept for, so that you can survive for the next 6 months, okay. That if you lose a job, you still have 6 months of your salary as savings, where you can go and you can easily meet your monthly, the needs and the wants, basically, or needs, you could say. You can clear off your monthly expenses and all these things. So you should have generally a 6 months, 3 to 6 months, I would suggest. 3 to 6 months should be the ideal fund that you should always have, right, as a contingency fund or an emergency fund. Now this is what I've seen, that people generally don't have this, right? Now what they try to do, they either break their fixed deposits or they just liquidate their gold or stocks or whatever. don't do that, because you're actually stopping the compounding returns that the stock or the fixed deposit might give you. So try to keep a contingency fund. So this is the second part, which generally people don't, right? So, and mind you, in insurance, when I'm talking about the insurance, I also not only mean by life insurance, but also health insurance. Okay. So in case anything happens, any disease in your family or what, so try to get yourself insured for health also, health, life, all these things, right? So after your first salary, you buy your insurance, then you save a lot of money, maybe 3-4 months, and you have your contingency fund ready now, right? Say 7-8 months, you do that. Then what should be the third type of allocation in savings? After you do that, then you go for the tax deduction investments. Okay, now many people may be familiar or may not be familiar with it. Now there are certain things where the government, okay, promotes you to save, so that they also give you tax benefit for that. Okay, so for example, the government tells you to invest in public provident fund, or right, or they tell you to invest in equity linked saving scheme, that is ELSS, you might have heard or you might not have heard. So these are places where the government tells you that, boss, you invest your money here. Okay, so if you invest your money, not only you will get the interest on that, but I will also deduct your taxes. Okay, so this is a double advantage that you have. Not only you are making money on the instruments, right, on which the government is saying, but on the other hand, the government is also reducing your taxes. So this should be the next best way to allocate your savings, right? Now, generally you might have seen the people might be talking about section 80C in tax. Okay, many people might have heard or might not have heard. So there is something known as section 80C. So there are many investments involved there. So you can go through them, read them on the website, where you understand which are the different places where actually the government promotes you to save your money and allocate money there, right? And also give you the tax deduction benefit. Okay, they reduce your taxes. So this should be the third type of investment that generally people should do. Okay, after these three, then you should actually come to the investment part, which generally people do it immediately as soon as they have their 20% savings. Then what would be involved in this? These investments would be then your fixed deposits, your gold, right, your stocks, your mutual funds, your debt mutual funds, and all these things. So this should be the last part. What I have seen, people generally immediately go for investments here, then they think for tax deduction, so they do it exactly ulta, right? They do it absolutely the reciprocal of this. So first, what I've seen is people do the investment, then as soon as Jan, February, March comes, the year the year ending comes, then what they do, they immediately go for the tax deduction, the investment, right? So then they'll be taking their insurance and all, and then I don't know, contingency fund, it might be there or it might not be there. So people do it exactly opposite. What you should do, you should do first insurance, right? Then you should have a contingency fund, right? Eventually invest into tax deduction investments. Reason being, it's a double advantage for you. You're not only saving money and getting an interest on that, but also you get the tax advantage over it, correct? Then you should go for the fourth type, that is the investments, where you focus on your stocks or your mutual funds or gold or fixed deposits. So this is how it should be, guys, right? Again, I'll just summarize things for you. For budgeting salary, remember, if you can note it down, it's a 50-30-20 rule, where 50% should be spent on your needs, that is your day-to-day expenses, right? Your grocery, your milk or travel or whatever, all these things, rent, utilities. 30%, so you can adjust in the 30% part. If you want, you can decrease it, right? Don't increase it, surely. If you want, you can decrease that part. and increase the savings part eventually. So this 30% would be your wants, right? So this involves your dining, your shopping, your travel. Try not to go above 30% in this case. And this 20% should be your savings. So this savings minimum, this is 20%. No matter if you can increase, you should surely increase it by reducing your wants, right? So in this 20%, then we discussed how to go about that, right? In that, we'll be first buying an insurance, right? So this would be inclusive of your life, health insurance, all type of insurance that you require to protect yourself first. Then you'll be keeping 3 to 6 months of your money into a contingency or an emergency fund, right? It will be 3 to 6 months of your salary. Then you should go into investments which are tax deductible, double advantage, since on one side you get the interest and the second side you get the tax benefit. And fourth, it should be your investment, right? Which would be inclusive of your stocks, debt, fixed deposits, gold, mutual funds, right? So this is what it was, guys. Any questions on this? If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. Okay, I think there are no questions as such. So this was basically the budgeting part of your salary. I hope it was helpful for you, and it will be helpful if you follow it, right? So maybe we'll see next week. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
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 Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.